What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? How everybody doing today? Today we're gonna cover a topic that I feel needs to be had. It's trans transactional relationships. Transactional relationships. What exactly are transactional relationships? Hey, Italian! Shout out to Italian, the mother of the house. Much love to her. Holding the fort down. Number one moderator in the building. Um, I want to cover transactional relationships, and I want to cover what I feel that means to the world. Because, believe it or not, there's a lot of people in transactional relationships, whether it's unconscious or conscious. Now, um, denial is another subject, but if you are a man and you look at your situation, you have to ask yourself, is this transactional? Now, I'm going to play a few clips today, too. And the clips is going to be covering one of the late greats, the icons in the African community, Maya Angelou. Now, if you're not familiar with her story, Maya Angelou, uh, she had a past. So do we all. But she had a past, and it wasn't a bright past. If you was to go back in time and look at her in her past and have a conversation with her as a child, I'm sure she wouldn't have the same sentiment, or thought she would bring the same sentiment, as a woman, as an older woman. Um, so I'm gonna play a few clips, and I'm gonna roll some clips on her, and we're gonna get into it.
Bitter, particularly with some of the experiences that you suffered. I'm thinking of the rape, when you were raped at
But
the
who
age
can
of 8.
forgive me? Nobody. Only I can forgive myself. I don't. People can't forgive me for bitterness. They might think they understand it. They might be able to comprehend the cause and effect. But if I was a bitter person, no one else can forgive me for that. They might embrace me and feel sorry for me, ooh, but that wouldn't help me because the bitterness would be chomping down on my liver, on my guts, and I won't have it.
Thinking back to that terrible experience
Yeah.
at the age of 8, aren't you bitter? How could such a thing have happened to you? You were raped by your mother's lover, weren't you?
Yes, not bitterness. Maybe we're using the wrong words. Angry, yes. Around the world, I try to be present in the prevention of cruelty to children. So one of the latest facility in Britain, in London, built for the prevention of cruelty to children, was named for me 4 years ago. It's in Haringey. I worked very hard
In North London.
in North London to around the world to put a stop to that sort of cruelty.
Because of what you experienced?
I'm sure that's part of it, but a lot of people work in that field who've never suffered that.
So it's coloured your life.
It has enriched my life, yes.
Which is a remarkable thing to say.
It has. It's true. I mean, I wouldn't say, any person should be raped and thereby his life will be enriched. That's like saying all grass is green, subsequent everything that's green is grass. So I don't mean that. But if the awful thing befalls you, it is a wise thing to try to take that and open it up and make it of use. So that the writer says, if you get a lemon, make lemonade. You know, why hang about milk, all that stuff, and just make a bore of yourself?
Maya Angelou, you were 17.
Okay, so for everybody in the building, we are covering transactional relationships. I'm gonna play that back one more time. Maya Angelou is speaking on her past, and we're gonna cover perception versus reality, stereotypes, transactional relationships. Um, and after she speak on her childhood, we'll come back.
Being bitter, particularly with some of the experiences that you suffered. I'm thinking of the rape, when you were raped at
But
the
who
age
can
of 8.
forgive me? Nobody. Only I can forgive myself. I don't. People can't forgive me for bitterness. They might think they understand it. They might be able to comprehend the cause and effect. But if I was a bitter person, no one else can forgive me for that. They might embrace me and feel sorry for me, ooh, but that wouldn't help me because the bitterness would be chomping down on my liver, on my guts, and I won't have it.
Thinking back to that terrible experience
Yeah.
at the age of 8, aren't you bitter? How could such a thing have happened to you? You were raped by your mother's lover, weren't you?
Yes, not bitterness. Maybe we're using the wrong words. Angry, yes. The around the world, I try to be present in the prevention of cruelty to children. So one of the latest facility in Britain, in London, built for the prevention of cruelty to children, was named for me 4 years ago. It's in Haringey. I worked very hard
In North London.
in North London to around the world to put a stop to that sort of cruelty.
Because of what you experienced?
That's, I'm sure that's part of it, but a lot of people work in that field who have never suffered that.
So it's coloured your life,
It has enriched my life, yes.
which is a remarkable thing to say.
It has. It's true. I mean, I wouldn't say, any person should be raped and thereby his life will be enriched. That's like saying all grass is green, subsequent everything that's green is grass. So I don't mean that. But if the awful thing befalls you, it is a wise thing to try to take that and open it up and make it of use. So that the writer says, if you get a lemon, make lemonade. You know, why hang about milk, all that stuff, and just make a bore of yourself?
Maya Angelou, you were 17.
Okay, so if you notice the um, in the questionnaire, the reporter was asking Maya in a judgmental way, you know, when she was speaking, when she tried to have a little confidence in herself from her history, he still had a disdain, like it was a passive disdain for her past. And she, as she was telling her story, he said, remarkable. What, pretty much as if to say, would you use the word remarkable? That's kind of a stretch, don't you think? And she, no, no, it's not, because you never know what people are facing every day. You never know what people go through every day. Her as a child coming up, and her own mother, lover, raping her to that degree it does something to your mind. Now, if you study psychology, if you look into psychology, or if you read a book every once in a while on the conscious, subconscious, unconscious, anything dealing with the mental state. Um, these are real things, and trauma is real as well. Kind of going into transactional relationships. Um, a lot of people speak on the highlights, but you know, uh, most people don't cover the dark history. You know, and a lot of people, a light, if they had a light on their history, um, appreciate you, Dirk. Appreciate you, Dirk. Um, if a lot of people had a light on their history, would they too be as confident as they walk around now? For the men that were abused sexually as a child, for the men that were um, touched in the wrong way as a child, for those brothers out in the world, would they then shun someone else from speaking as the same as the woman that was touched as a child? And a lot of times, people don't stop and think. People take people for face value. That's why, most people, they think a killer is supposed to look a certain way. But you'll have a young boy go to a school and shoot it up, and he look like he work at the movie theaters with some glasses on and friends with Stuart Little. But you don't know that because in your mind, you feel you control the perception of how things are when that's not reality. Transactional relationships. Most people today, and it's glorified, you have, you know, um, some women that enter relationships purely transactional. You have some women that enter relationships, because they actually do love the man, but the nature is still thereof. And when I say the nature is still thereof, it's just biology. It's the primal instincts of life for a man to gather resources and a woman to be a nurturer. So in this right, uh, such as life, or like Mufasa would say, it's the circle of life. I want to get into another clip. If you missed the first clip, welcome, join in, tap the like button, get the like buttons up. Mods, help me get the likes buttons up, and we're gonna get into the next clip. But the next clip is going to dive a little bit deeper into Maya and the history of an icon, but also it's going to tie into what I'm gonna bring later.
Maya Angelou is probably one of the most respected figures through history, right? Her name alone exudes elegance, class, and sophistication and intelligence. She is called the people's poet, and that she is indeed, but with so much respect, with a story that is so intense and moving. Like every documentary or piece of work I've read from her moves me. People are very protective of Maya Angelou. There's a lot of things that people don't really want to highlight or talk about with her life, even though Maya Angelou herself was not ashamed of it, like her past as a sex worker. She was not ashamed of it. She spoke about it so that she could be a positive influence and show people not to be ashamed of their past, etc., and be human and relatable. But I hate now how her legacy and
So I'm gonna play that one more. I'm gonna play that one more time. I'm gonna play that one more time so you can really feel that. Hold on one second.
Maya Angelou is probably one of the most respected figures through history, right? Her name alone exudes elegance, class, and sophistication and intelligence. She is called the people's poet, and that she is indeed, but with so much respect, with a story that is so intense and moving. Like every documentary or piece of work I've read from her moves me. People are very protective of Maya Angelou. There's a lot of things that people don't really want want to highlight or talk about with her life, even though Maya Angelou herself was not ashamed of it, like her past as a sex worker. She was not ashamed of it. She spoke about it so that she could be a positive influence and show people not to be ashamed of their past, etc., and be human and relatable. But I hate now how her legacy and
So, for the people that didn't know, or for the people that, you know, don't know history, or the people that, never picked up a book, Maya um, was what they would call in the streets. Now, most people would take away and they say, oh, well, we don't want to hear what she has to say now that we feel that her history was tarnished. We don't, and that's, um, the book when she said, why does the cage bird sing? It's it ties into that as well because oftentimes people want to muzzle you if they feel your history doesn't align with what they feel is righteous. But what is righteous and who is really righteous? Who doesn't have a past? Who doesn't have closets? Who doesn't have skeletons? Whether you put somebody down, whether you uh, rob somebody, whether you whatever history you have, who doesn't have a past? I think a lot of times, people find it easy to point fingers at other people because their demons might be a little bit more dangerous. It's how can I judge you? First, I don't have nowhere to put you when you leave this earth. I have nowhere to put you. I have nowhere to assign you. Um, I don't have the power thereof. So why would I look at you in this thing for your story, your journey? And that goes back to intelligence. Everybody don't got it. Everybody ain't able. So you got to speak to the people that have intelligence. You have to speak to the people that don't have intelligence, which leads me to the next clip.
Well, it is obvious. The most boring and the most dangerous people are those self-righteous people who would have you believe they have no skeletons in their closets. In fact, they have no closets. They're full of baloney. I mean, I think that before you judge anybody, you should look at yourself and have enough courage to admit what you see. Most Well, it is obvious. The most boring and the most dangerous people are those self-righteous people who would have you believe they have no skeletons in their closets. In fact, they have no closets. They're full of baloney. I mean, I think that before you judge anybody, you should look at yourself and have enough courage to admit what you see. Most
People will never admit it though. People walk around like, oh, my father never left. My mama ain't on drugs. You know. Oh, I had a classic upbringing. I mean, everything was just perfect if you let them tell the story. But the neighborhood saw different. The world saw different. It's no different. You are no different. You are no different. And this is, a lot of people. When I joined this YouTube thing, people think I'm covering one thing. I'm not. I'm not. This ain't about. This ain't about whether it's my personal life or whether it's um, you know anyone else's. It's literally it's breaking down ignorance and the barriers of that ignorance. Um, Subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. I have that in the top. As you can see, Cash App, Ghost Bags one. Ghost Bags the number one. Show your love to the channel. We going up. We going up. This is going to be informal. Um, we doing a lot more than just um, thug talk, ignorance, and the dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna have some substance over here. We're gonna have some critical thinking. And if you're not a critical thinker, you're not gonna last. That's what I keep around me. Um, the point in life is to actually grow before you die. It's to grow. If you're not growing, then you already need to just lay down. And you know what I'm saying? Go ahead and tell God to come get you, because that's it's it for you. How would I mean, to walk around on earth with an empty mind, that's dangerous. That's dangerous. And that's the same thing when I'm talking about when I say, the carrying the ignorance and the stereotypes to other cultures, carrying the ignorance and the stereotypes abroad. You know, change your way of thought, change your way of thinking. And for the people that's too far gone, it ain't gonna happen overnight. Hell, you might not wake up until you 60 years old, 80 years old or something. I mean, you may not understand what I'm saying until you got grandkids, or it's already too much over for you in life. But for the ones that understand now and have a level of consciousness about yourself, a level of understanding, comprehension about yourself, you know, tune in. We're gonna get to this next clip.
People are afraid to be pried loose from their ignorance because they know their ignorance so well, they know it better than they know their body odors. And if you say, come on, give up your ignorance, they get into that terrible position, terrifying position which Shakespeare talks about at the end of the soliloquy, Hamlet's soliloquy. They'd rather bear the ills they have than fly to others that they know not of. Thus conscience doth make cowards of us all, so they are cowardly. People are afraid to be pried loose from their ignorance because they know their ignorance so well, they know it better than they know their body odors. And if you say, come on, give up your ignorance, they get into that terrible position, terrifying position which Shakespeare talks about at the end of the soliloquy, Hamlet's soliloquy. They'd rather bear the ills they have than fly to others that they know not of. Thus conscience doth make cowards of us all, so they are cowardly.
Yeah. Um, and capital trade is. I feel like that question is redundant. You know, um, if you see clips, if you see I'm speaking on an icon in our community, African community, that should kind of go without saying. But welcome, welcome, welcome. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why we're covering um, wisdom, knowledge, breaking barriers down. Um, you want to show love to the mother of the channel. The mother of the channel is Concetta. Please be respectful, because I do block. I block, and I'll get you the fuck up out of here quick. Um, let's keep it respectful. Let's keep it love. You know what I'm saying? All love, because it's all respect until it ain't. Um, let's get it right. He's doing his own stuff. He did her funny stuff. Yeah. But they'll see. Consider. Let some of them rock out a little bit. This is Trey. Oh shit, this is Trey. All right, hold on, Consider, Consider. This my boy right here. Hold on, right quick. Hold on, I got it. So Trey, um, man, this being okay. So I guess what Trey is alluding to, no, it's okay. He's a smart brother too. Shout out to Texas. Um, yeah, you know what I'm saying. I did my due diligence. You know what I'm saying. I'm just covering right now. Yeah. I know, Trey. I know. I get it. Everybody, just relax. I get it. I'm gonna answer the question now. I have done my due diligence. It's all love. Um, and what I'm doing now is just bringing a thought to the world. That's what I'm doing, Trey. That's all I'm doing. So if you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe too, Trey. Because we're gonna touch on a lot more subjects. You know what I'm saying? I want to cover a lot, plethora of more subjects coming in the future. But right now, we just covering stereotypes, mindsets, and a lot of people are not going to agree. A lot of people, some may agree, some may not agree. Some may rock out, and some may say, "Man, I'm never understanding that. I'm gonna go to the grave in my ignorance. It's just what it is." And people have that right to be ignorant. People have that right to go down in history for to live in their own misery. A lot of people live with that transactional relationships in America, right? You have it's being glorified. Well, in the Luciferian doctrine, for the people that just read one book, God bless you, but you got to know the enemy too. And the Luciferian doctrine, it says that you do what thou wilt is the whole of the land. It doesn't look at the snake in the garden as the evil one. It looked at the snake in the garden as the one that was trying to save him. And no, I'm not a part of that. I'm not a part of that. I'm just telling you, sometimes you need to pick up a book and read. That's a lot of people feel that govern your states, principalities, some, governments. A lot of people believe that. So you need to be aware of what's going on. Well, I wasn't talking about this thing. I was talking about the panel. No. I wasn't aware. My bad, Trey. And you know what I'm saying? I was busy. I got a lot of shit going on. But, um, you know what I'm saying? We can tune in personally. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah, I got a lot of, you know what I'm saying? I had a lot of business. But aside from that, you know, in America, um, a lot of people are having transactional relationships, whether they know it or not, whether they realize it or not. You have some women that have a chameleon spirit. They come as the good girl. They come as, oh, you know, they come from a respectable home. They come from good teachings. That's, perception wise, that's the best thing you could ever marry. Um, that's the best thing you could ever marry because to the people, to social validation, she's the one. Um, but once you peel back the layers to her mind, does she, in fact, just see you simply as a resource, a means to an end? Mike Tyson said it best. Mike Tyson said, "For the men," and we know this. It's not like we unconscious to this. We know this as men. If you don't know this, you just got a little bit more growing up to do. As men, what's going on, Chris? As men, we know that we are in transactional relationships. All of us. All of us. I don't care if you the I don't care if you the Prince of Egypt. I don't care who you are. All of us, if you are a man and you're living and breathing, there are resources that every woman on this earth, I don't care if she live in Alaska in an igloo, she want resources. She want fish. She want and she don't want to have to go out there and fight no polar bears to get it. You know, tap into the Cash App. Y'all bless this live. You know what I'm saying? Well, we're gonna run these numbers up. We're gonna bring some knowledge to the space, and we're gonna bring some light, some intelligence to the space. You know what I mean? Um, a lot of people don't appreciate you till you're gone. A lot of people don't appreciate words of wisdom until the mouths are closed. So you know, Michael Jackson said it best: the greatest education is watching the masters at work. Watching the master. He didn't say talking. He said watching. Um, you know, the masters at work. So I'm gonna play another clip, and y'all let me know your thoughts. Shout out to Doja Boy. Y'all tap in. One of the great minds. He actually came up with me. You know what I'm saying? Doja Boy came up with me in those woods. You know what I'm saying? So he know what time it is, and he know what type of thinkers we are. We don't gotta say too much. You know what I'm saying? It's like I said. He know me since I was yay high, little boy, little boy. I'm gonna go ahead and give Doja his wrench for sure, cause he definitely, that's my boy right there. He locked in since we was kids. Um, Chris, go ahead and let me know when you get that tool. Shout out to everybody in the building. Make sure you tap into the Cash App. Ghost Bags One. It's on the header right here. Ghost $ Ghost Bags One. GHOSTBAGG1. Bless the show. Bless the channel. Every dollar is appreciated. Every dollar is appreciated. Also, um, you know, I want to play another clip for the people that weren't here, um, and this is gonna give you another spiritual energy that's gonna break through.
Maya Angelou is probably one of the most respected figures through history, right? Her name alone exudes elegance, class, and sophistication and intelligence. She is called the people's poet, and that she is indeed. But with so much respect, you know, with a story that is so intense and moving, like every documentary or piece of work I've read from her moves me. People are very protective of Maya Angelou. There's a lot of things that people don't really want to highlight or talk about with her life, even though Maya Angelou herself was not ashamed of it, like her past as a sex worker. She was not ashamed of it. She spoke about it so that she could be a positive influence and show people not to be ashamed of their past, etc., and be human and relatable. But I hate now how her legacy and Maya Angelou is probably one of the most respected figures through history, right? Her name alone exudes elegance, class, and sophistication and intelligence. She is called the people's poet, and that she is indeed. But with so much respect, you know, with a story that is so intense and moving, like every documentary or piece of work I've read from her moves me. People are very protective of Maya Angelou. There's a lot of things that people don't really want to highlight or talk about with her life, even though Maya Angelou herself was not ashamed of it, like her past as a sex worker. She was not ashamed of it. She spoke about it so that she could be a positive influence and show people not to be ashamed of their past, etc., and be human and relatable. But I hate now how her legacy and
Yeah, and that's one of the, if not the, one of the best minds in the African community. Platform among nations. Before there was a YouTube, before there was anything where you could grab a mic and say who you are, you just had to sit in the audience because you wasn't qualified to be on, you know what I'm saying, the big screen. I think people forget that. It's a luxury now to pick up your phone and go live or and connect with people nationwide and everything like that. You couldn't get that type of, you had to have real emotion. You had to have like extreme motion, like to a point, like undeniable motion. Um, you know what I mean? To even be in mixed crowds and touching different mindsets across nations. So that's what I'm bringing. That's what I'm bringing to you as well, because like the lady said in the clip, a lot of people don't know that Maya Angelou was in fact in the streets. But was it? Um, I'm being very careful around that because she is an icon for sure. Um, I think a lot of people think that every girl in the street just they just want to be there. They love it. It's are 90% of them or are a large majority of them um do they love the hamster wheel? Do they love playing on the devil's playground? Of course, without a doubt. They live for it. Until they can't work the grounds no more, they just live for it. But everybody is not the same. As closed minded as your brain cells may be, everybody is not the same. There are there are diamonds within a lot of cultures, within a lot of situations that you may come across, that you may find yourself um, you may find yourself questioning because now you have to go against groupthink. If you don't know what groupthink is, it's the conformity of minds, whether you wrong or you right. Right now, example, everybody right now can say 1 plus 1 is 89. And they will argue you down. They will argue you down. Oh no, I'm telling you it's 89 because I did the math. I spoke to the highest of scholars. And they wrong as fuck. They wrong they dead ass wrong. But in their mind, you can't tell them different. 1 plus 1 equals 89 in their brains. We're not trying to change them. This is not trying to make anybody be swayed to make a decision um, to go on the devil's playground. This is not something to make people say, um, I'm gonna wake up in the morning. I'm gonna go in the worst of the worst places to just live. I mean, nobody. I mean, that's just not common sense. But the point of that is some of the most rarest jewels are in the most fucked up situations and places. But if you write everybody off on one ticket, um, you know what I'm saying, you walking backwards, you hustling backwards. Can we agree that Maya sought to redeem her past through understanding and not defiance? Her past was not something she was proud of or ashamed. It was just part of her story. Exactly. Exactly. It was a part of the story. And everyone has a story. Everyone has a story. Whether it was emotional abuse, physical abuse, spiritual abuse. Some people was raised by their grandparents. Some people, was raised in the foster. Everybody has a story. Even the people that was raised in good homes. Some people just paid the bills but never talked to their kids. They had access to money, but they just paid the bills and never spoke to them. They don't even have a relationship. Everyone has a story. So are you going to continue to be the ignorant one that kind of propels this mindset across different culture, or are you going to be in fact the one that brings light to it? Or you know what I'm saying? Even if you want to play that game, even if you want to play that game, are you going to, you know what I'm saying? Just know that. Um, those are, they human too. They human too. You know what I'm saying? When I was a dog's dog, and I mean I would probably speak about this, amongst the homies or whatever. But when I was, you know what I'm saying, when I was in my 20s, or you couldn't even get me to, I wouldn't even understand what you talking about. I wouldn't even. I can understand it, but you know what I'm saying. I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do regardless. That's who I was. So I understand a lot of people not gonna get it right away. It's not gonna be a quick flip on switch. Shout out to everybody in the building. Like I say, hit the cash app. Show you love, and welcome to the Ghost Channel. Welcome. We tapping in. We taking this thing higher. We're gonna cover a lot of things. It ain't just gonna be once. It's not a no. It's a multi-dimensional, operation. We're gonna run over here. You know what I'm saying? And we going up. Y'all are seeing the beginning. Y'all are seeing, for the people that may be nervous about going up. Um, for the people that want to start a channel that's nervous, watch me. You know what I'm saying? Going through it, trying to build. That's one of the highest things you can do is show people. You know what I'm saying? I'm in the mail room right now. You know what I'm saying? It might be a whole different scenery next year, but I'm in the mail room right now. You know what I mean? We are. It's like you said. It's time to go up. Okay, great. So we can't gloss over the past. We all have bad things we've done from the past. We can't say they wasn't bad. We just have to learn to carry that past to a better tomorrow. Agree. That's facts. And that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. This is not a crusade of like just go pick up something and try something just for the hell of it. No, that's not what I'm saying. And it's sad because on Phil Donahue's show, for the younger people that don't know who Phil Donahue is, he's a legend. Also, you know what I'm saying, he was a talk show host before Oprah and all them other, ladies like Ricky Lake and stuff like that. But Phil Donahue, he was battling with the greats, you know what I'm saying, Farrakhan, these other guys. And you know what I'm saying, he challenged their minds, he challenged how they thought. What's your thought process? Why are you doing what you're doing? And like Farrakhan said, he spoke to a crowd of a lot of people that, they didn't like him. Some liked him, some were supporters, and some were flat out enemies. They could not understand him. But like Muhammad Ali told this white lady one time, she said, I don't really like you. I don't like you. He said, why? Do you know me? She like, no, I just don't like you. I just don't care for you. He was like, no, it ain't that you just don't like me. You're not used to seeing a confident black man speak. And you're not used to seeing this type of intelligence. That's the problem. You're not used to seeing critical thinking. You're not used to hearing people actually talk with some sense, especially having a suit on. The first thing that goes to another part. The first thing people will say in our culture, and I'm talking about the African culture. The first thing, if you a black man and you got on a suit, the first thing people ask you is, did you leave a funeral? Did you go to an interview? It got to be something other than business. They'll never say, "Oh man, did you close that deal just now? How much you got from that, man? I know you doing it." You're not gonna hear that. You're gonna hear anything but that. Oh man, you know what I'm saying? You going to church? You going to church? Ignorance is unconscious and people don't even realize it. But you let people talk. Always let people talk and let you show how ignorant they are. They used to tell people back in the day, um, don't run your mouth so much. Don't talk so much. Because then people know just how stupid you really are. That's what we doing. We breaking all that down. We breaking all that down. And I'm not saying you gotta be no genius. I'm just saying don't be stupid. That's all I'm saying. You ain't gotta be no genius. You ain't gotta know you know what I mean, the equator's circumference. You don't got to do nothing crazy. Like, you don't got to be Einstein. Just have some sense about yourself. Have some. You know what I'm saying? Be smooth about that shit. Streaming is fun and the interaction with following other, but yes, it is those. It is. And I'm pretty much everything we were talking about since we was kids. Everything that we were talking about. Those who really know me, y'all. He not. This ain't no. He really know me since I was a kid. This is because you can fake for one person, but uh, people know you. People know you, and they know the past. You know what I'm saying? I always thought like this. I always thought like this. I just went through life. You know what I'm saying? I had a lot of a lot of the knowledge and wisdom I got. It wasn't from no books, even though I mastered that shit. It wasn't from no books. You can't pay for this. You got to live it. I'm gonna play another clip that she posts, and we're gonna get into it.
Well, it is obvious. The most boring and the most dangerous people are those self-righteous people who would have you believe they have no skeletons in their closets. In fact, they have no closets. They're full of baloney. I mean, I think that before you judge anybody, you should look at yourself and have enough courage to admit what you see. Most people are afraid to be pried loose from their ignorance, because they know their ignorance so well, they know it better than they know their body odors. And if you say, come on, give up your ignorance, they get into that terrible position, terrifying position which Shakespeare talks about at the end of the soliloquy, Hamlet's soliloquy. They'd rather bear the ills they have than fly to others that they know not of. Thus conscience doth make cowards of us all. So they are cowardly.
So yeah, that's listen. It's some people. It's some people you just gotta leave behind because their minds are stagnant. Like, you know what I'm saying? That comes from business. That comes from money. That comes from situational awareness. Like it's a lot of people you can't take with you on your journey because their minds hit a cap. It's a capacity with them. That's cognitive dissonance, but that's a whole nother subject. But yeah, I appreciate everybody that's rocking with the guy, man. I appreciate everybody that's rocking with Ghost, man. You rocking with me, I'm rocking with you, and we bringing this thing higher. We bringing this thing higher. There's gonna be some more things that I think about. Shout out to Camp Nine. Shout out to Camp Nine if you're watching. You know what I'm saying? K9, good brother, smart brother. We had a good conversation. Um, you know what I'm saying? Another smart brother as well. Y'all go tap in with him. Camp Nine, K9. Um, and we really just trying to elevate the minds on where we're going. And I stress that because we already got the worst, and I'm talking to the Africans. I'm not talking to nobody else. I'm talking to y'all. I'm talking about black people. I'm talking about the foundational blacks, foundational Africans. Um, we get a lot of slack off of the worst. The worst representations, seem to be the loudest, and the world hears them first. It's some people right now in Tokyo or Japan. They never seen a black person. They outside of TV or YouTube or like a screen, they never even seen them. That's real life. Just because you grew up with them, don't mean it's normal for other people. Some people never seen us a day and they never touch our skin. They study us. So what do you want them to study? Do you want them to study how ignorant you are, how closed-minded you are? When you go to their city, you fuck it up. When you know what I'm saying, you got to be seen, you got to be heard wherever you go. Nah, man, we changing the dynamic. We bringing substance. And if you wasn't raised off that, it's not too late for you neither. like I said, we all got a history. You know, if you still living, you got a history. If you came out your mama womb and you grew past your teens, you know, you was fortunate to have uh, a life, because some babies, bless them, you know, they leave early. But if you was fortunate to have a life, you got history, whether you want to acknowledge it or not. So keep an open mind. Y'all be blessed, man. Tap into the Cash App. Make sure you hit that Cash App. And we are going up. We are building right now. You know what I'm saying? Uh, yeah, I allow people to get on the panel, but you know, I'm on this 20-hour thing too that we spoke about too. So we're trying to keep this. I'm already 50 something minutes into it, so I want to save some of my time. But yeah, I'm allowing people on the panel like in the future. But we ain't accepting no ignorant shit. None of that shit. We ain't not accepting no ignorant shit. You will be blocked expeditiously. You know what I'm saying? I don't tolerate no foolishness. I don't tolerate no bullshit. Now, if you want to have some negativity on other people's channel, you can take that shit over there. But over here, you ain't gonna be here long. I know that much. Yeah, I don't take no type of disrespect. So that will not be tolerated over here. But yeah, and I've been like this since I was a kid. I've been like this since I was a kid. I was, you know what I'm saying, outgoing and everything like that too. But I was like a popular outcast. Popular outcast. I didn't need nobody validation. I learned that shit early. A lot of people had to roll in packs. Ask anyone did I have packs coming up. No, I didn't even believe in it. I couldn't even understand people that needed packs to be validated. Guys rolling 6, 7 deep just to feel confident in themselves to be a man. Yeah, shit a little different over here. But we gonna make sure we run these numbers up. This is the mail room right here. Um, we're gonna bring this up. Shout out to the mother of the panel, mother of the channel as well, Concetta. Shout out to Dirk. Shout out to Doja. Shout out to Trey from Texas. Bless him. Bless everybody under the sound of my voice. And when you roll this back, I hope you took something from it. You know what I'm saying? The point is, transactional relationships are glorified at an all-time high. At an all-time high. You know what I'm saying? Even the girls that you know what I'm saying. The good girls want to be bad. The bad girls trying to be good, and they'll blend in just to get what they need. So nobody is above the program. And you know, like Nipsey said, some people know better, but then they go outside and then they tend to get influenced. Don't let nobody else influence your mind. You know what I'm saying, on ignorance. So bless y'all, man. We out and tap into the channel. Salute.